This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki, the universal energy life force, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready Set Reiki journey, we refer to ourselves as guides rather than hosts, as we too are traveling, supporting each other, and learning on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy Seawright. Joining me today on my journey is Laura Whitmore. Now, she is a business owner as she owns Laura Reiki. She is a full-time Reiki master and sound healer. She also does workshops in her studio. She has a studio that she practices her business and has over 100 clients come through her studio last year and 68 clients already so far this year. She was born to do Reiki and is a process of her life purpose. And she wants to make sure that as many people can experience Reiki as she finds it very powerful and some amazing results for her clients. She has been trained in Reiki for 4 years and working in the education system. And she decided to give up her job because of her clientele was growing and growing. She does many events to network and promote her Reiki business. And in person finds social media very overwhelming. She was on a local radio show talking about Reiki, and she could talk about Reiki all day. She is a mom of 2 boys, which she loves being a mom, married, and has a wonderful life with her husband and 2 boys. Welcome, Laura, to Ready Set Reiki.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
All right, well, let's begin our journey together. So let's start with, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you've done a good introduction to me, so thank you very much. That was very nice. So yeah, I'm a full-time Reiki master, but I don't really like to say I'm a master because we're always learning. No one's ever a master at doing anything. So every day is a teaching day, and I just think that you can learn so much about Reiki, that every day I learn something different, and I just love the journey of being in a Reiki world, really, because it is a world. It's a fabulous world that is becoming more and more open to everybody.
Yeah, definitely a lifestyle for sure, right?
Definitely. Yeah, a lovely lifestyle at that.
So when did Reiki come into your life? Did you find Reiki or did Reiki find you?
Well, yeah, I think I've always kind of knew that I like something different, if you like to say the terminology different. I always knew that there was something that wasn't quite fulfilling my life. So then on one of my birthdays, my husband said to me, "Oh, what do you fancy?" And my mum said to me, "Oh, what do you fancy?" And I was like, "I don't really know." And so my husband said, "Oh, well, you're always on," I was on a VIP group, "You're always on this group. And they're offering Reiki. Why don't you do Reiki?" And I was just like, "Oh, okay then." So that's how I got into it, because it was like a birthday present. Best birthday present in the world. So yeah, that's how my journey started. Really, with Reiki. So I done Reiki 1, then I done Reiki 2. Then in the pandemic, I was painting my fence panels because I was worked in a school. We call what they call in England bubbles closed down from the pandemic, where only our class got. So I was painting my fence panels, and I was like, my guides were saying to me, "Laura, you're wasting your Reiki. Why are you not doing Reiki? You've learnt it. Why are you not doing it?" And from that point onwards, I decided that was it. I was going to go into my Reiki journey like as fast as I could.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you have been in this Reiki world for last 4 years. Last year, over 100. Wow, clients came through your studio, and you're already, going into, beyond 70 clients so far. So what is a common misconception that you find out there about Reiki?
Well, what I find is everyone clumps it with spirituality, which rightly so. But obviously spirituality is different to Reiki. They're two different entities. So I think because people are scared of spirituality, they're scared of Reiki. So like for me, I have two that I join Reiki and spirituality and clairvoyance together, but I also have clients that actually they don't want that. And that's what I offer in my studio, that actually I've got people that come for the complete health benefits, but don't want to talk about spirituality. So for me, I go on what the client wants out of Reiki.
Right. Right. Very good. Now you've had some amazing results in helping your clients through their challenges and struggles. But what has been the biggest challenge or rather struggle you have faced in your own healing journey?
I think where we think that we have to be like what you call the wording healed, and you kind of think to yourself, well, I can't do certain things because I have to be healed and people won't come to me because I'm not healed. But I've overcome that and thought we're ever growing, we're ever healing, wherever there is we're always going to have some kind of healing journey. And I think that was the biggest hurdle for me, to say, actually, let's be a working document. You're not kind of pretend I'm something I'm not.
Right, right. Many don't realize that, you're healing when you're in service. And when you're in service, you're healing. It comes both ways. So very good. So glad that you made that realization and, you're out there continuing helping others and at the same time helping yourself. That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what is something that you wish your younger self knew about Reiki?
My younger self, that we've all got it in us and we all have it in a day-to-day life. And actually, if I knew it younger, maybe I would have used it in my life in my younger days, of actually I may have not needed so much support in other aspects. So, have the Reiki journey. And I do have children. I've had pregnant ladies, I've had babies, because I just think as soon as you can have Reiki in your life, it's just such a lovely thing to have in your life.
Wonderful. So, you being over in England and me over here in the United States, probably different ways of getting certifications. Do you find there's a difference? What do you need to do to, have Reiki, to do Reiki in the UK?
So I think there is lots of ways to get Reiki certification in England, and I think people have overcomplicated Reiki, and in England we've got lots of people that charge a lot and lots of money to become Reiki masters or Reiki practitioners. So there's lots of different ways to become practitioners or level 3 Reiki masters. So there is lots of ways. So I done it through 2 teachers. I done my Reiki level 1 with one teacher and Reiki level 2 with the same teacher. And then I done my masters with the others. With another lady, which taught a different style of Reiki. So there's lots of different Reikis out there now. So I only do Usui Reiki at the moment. And I've got Kundalini Reiki. So in England, there's lots of there's angelic Reiki and things like that. So so there's lots of ways to train in Reiki in England, to be honest.
Right, right. Well, in the United States, there is that plethora of options here for Reiki as well, but there's some that can go on, say, YouTube and get their training, or they can take an online course and they're able to go out. So in England, are you able to, say, take a $14.99 course, and would that be acceptable to go out and be a master?
No, because the insurance They wouldn't insure you. So if you wanted to set up a business, that you would have to have a certain amount of training, and you have to have an in-person training to get insured. Well, for a legit insurance company. So
Right.
yeah. So no,
So
you can go and do it.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
sorry.
In the States, we have, not that much regulation in what you can do to start up a business. So it's nice that there's that regulation to kind of level up and have that sense of professionalism.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's important, isn't it? It is important to, so that, as you say, that it's not just everybody that can start a business up.
Right, right. So when it is time for you to get your energetic tune up, what are some qualities that you look for in a Reiki practitioner? Now, mind you, if you are to the point in your practice where you're giving self Reiki, what would you look for in a Reiki teacher?
For me to connect with a Reiki teacher, their energy, you can't, there is nothing else. Is you instantly connect with energy. So that's it straight away. It's just that person's energy, and if I instantly, whether you connect with them or not, and it's okay if you don't as well. Energy is energy. So generally, if you're in the Reiki world and you've trained in Reiki, you've got good energy. So there's very rarely I come across people that have trained in Reiki or are Reiki level 3 stroke masters. They're not going to be people that you wouldn't want to associate with.
Wonderful. Now, you have been what you call a full-time Reiki master. You have your own business, Laura Reiki. You're a sound healer. You do workshops in your studio. You see clients. You've been doing this for a number of years. What advice would you give someone who's just entering this profession? They're like, yes, I'm ready. I want to have my business here. I want to go out and do this full time.
Believe in yourself. Completely believing in yourself, because the universe will give you your clients. The universe will give you what you deserve. So for me, I find that I have a lot of people that learn Reiki level 1 and Reiki level 2, and they've overcomplicated it, which then causes barriers, which then causes them not to be confident in their Reiki, because they've been told, you've got to feel like this, you've got to feel like that. Well, as a Reiki practitioner, we know that it's not about us, it's about our clients. And I always say to them, start having clients and then get the feedback from the clients. That is where you're doing right, because it's the feedback from the clients. You may stand by a Reiki bed and that session not feel anything, but that's not you. When the client wakes up or comes round from their Reiki session, then the results, because they'll go, wow. But we are the conductors. We're not the person we just implement the Reiki.
Very good. Some great advice. So what books do you recommend? They don't have to be Reiki books. They can be books that have resonated and helped you on your journey.
And Bex King, I like Bex King. He's books that I started reading. And Taggart King, Enhance Your Reiki. That was the ultimate, yes, book that I was just like, because he basically says, throw away anything and trust yourself. And I was like, okay then. So Taggart King's and that's who also I get my manuals and who I do all of my training with.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for those recommendations. So what other services do you offer? Do you offer classes, events, trainings, workshops?
Yeah, so I I teach Reiki level 1, 2, and masters. I do Reiki shares to encourage people to come once a month to, to either we give and receive Reiki on our Reiki shares, which I think is really powerful to keep people, the kind of confident and to kind of meet in a community. I do every 2 weeks. I do sound healings with the moon. So I work with the moons, which they're becoming very, very popular. I do children's workshops. I do children's sound healing. I do children's workshops on like making spiritual gifts and things like that. I also teach an open circle once a month where we can enhance our spirituality. So, and I'm always ever growing. Like if someone says, oh, can you put this workshop on, Laura? And I was like, okay, then. So I ask my clients, what do you want? Because it's all about them at the end of the day. So I always say, what should we have this month? Or what would you like in my studio? What would you like? And that's kind of how I roll my business. It's all about the clients.
Wonderful, wonderful. So where can we find you? Are you in person? Do you do online? How can we get in touch with you if we want to connect, to take a class, to take a workshop, to do a training?
So I have a studio that I have in the UK, and I am more of an in-person. I'm an in-person kind of person. I do distant healing if anyone wanted distant Reiki. I don't do workshop online. I go to events. And I promote myself more in person. I do find my social media very overwhelming. This is a huge thing for me to do a face-to-face camera. Yes, I know. This has been a real I've overcome this. So this was a barrier for me. So thank you for allowing me to have this space to work through this.
Of course.
But yeah, so when I'm on Facebook. I don't really go on Instagram. I do have an Instagram that's linked to it, but predominantly I'm on Facebook. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh, go to TikTok," but it doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't. So I'm not going to do something that doesn't feel right for me. So predominantly I'm on Facebook. So that's where you'd be able to find me.
Very good. It's interesting. I've learned in this journey now. Being blessed with interviewing many practitioners. And it seems like that, it's trusting the clients are going to come to you. You don't need all of the social media. They'll find you. Some of the best Reiki masters are the ones that, you don't find. They don't have the websites. They don't have the Instagram accounts. They're not here. They're not there. So trust what it feels in you. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. So you're exactly following the advice that you give your students and your clients. So well done with that. So yeah. Now the Reiki will take you. Just trust the process with it. The clients will show up, the right people. So that ends our first part of our journey together, and we're going to continue on as I guide you into the next part, which are questions that are sent in by listeners and by Reiki students. So here we go. Number 1, what inspired you to start your spiritual business?
Trusting myself. And then I started, I work full time, and then I was doing evenings and weekends, and I was then doing it every evening and every weekend. And so something had to give. I loved the job that I did, but also I loved my business. So it was, which one do I think I need to go for my sole purpose? And my sole purpose was to follow my Reiki business.
Very good. What profession did you do prior to kind of stopping and moving forward with Laura's Reiki?
I was a TA in the education system.
Wonderful.
So I've always been a nurturer. I've always been someone that cares and kind of always been an empath and a light worker. So I just done it in the traditional form rather than the spiritual form. So now I've turned to the spiritual, rather than in the norm of society.
Very good. Number 2, can you share a time where when your spiritual practices helped you overcome an obstacle?
Oh, that's a good question. I think everyday life. I think because of the Reiki principles, because of Reiki, I think we use it on a day-to-day basis that we don't realize that we're using it. So I would say on a day-to-day basis, Reiki gets me an obstacle because life is full of obstacles. So I've got a growing family. So in the mainstream education system in England, which isn't a wonderful education system. There's lots of hurdles, and being a light worker, and I've got an indigo son that likes to, express that he doesn't like certain things. So it's helped me. It's helped me believe that the universe is behind me. I give Reiki to meetings I go to. I give Reiki to journeys on the way to that meeting. So I bring Reiki into my literally everyday life.
Beautiful. Number 3, have you faced any skepticism about your work?
All the time, on a day-to-day basis, but because I talk about it and I'm so confident now that, and I say to people, the people that are skeptical, I say, come and have a session then. Come and have a session. Then tell me, because Reiki is so hard to explain, and it is because the unknown of you cannot see it. Of course, people are going to get skeptical, they are going to be skeptical, because at the end of the day, it's the unknown which scares people. So I always say, give it a go. And if you still don't believe it after giving it a go, then I respect that. But so that's kind of how I deal with those kind of people.
How about your husband and your two beautiful children? How are they about the Reiki?
Yeah, they were at the beginning. They obviously clearly were a little bit like, I don't believe it. But because obviously now they see how successful I am, I give my children Reiki. My husband has Reiki. So, it's just, they can see the results. They can see the business growing. They can see the clientele, and I think for them, it's just norm to them now.
Beautiful. Well, that is our last question. And as we've been talking, is there something you may have forgotten about, or if there's something that you like to share, you can take this time right now to share with our listeners.
Yeah, I just think that people should believe in it and believe in yourself, because we give Reiki all the time and we don't even realize it. Like when you go and a mum goes and puts their hand on their child when they've fallen over, you're giving Reiki then. You just aren't aware if you're giving Reiki. And I just think sometimes we need to kind of let people understand it in that way as well, that we're born with Reiki and everyone has Reiki in their bodies, and we've just got to make sure we enhance it and the rippling effect, and keep on sending the Reiki love out there.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Well, thank you, Laura, for joining me on this journey. I appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule. It seems your studio's doing really well. So well done with that.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me. I know it was kind of you stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, so I'm really proud on you with that. So thanks for coming on to Ready Set Reiki and taking this journey with me.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, my wonderful listeners, if you would like your question featured on Ready Set Reiki, reach out to www.readysetreiki.com. Also, check out Feather Sister Wellness, which offers yoga trainings, Reiki, and Reiki trainings. So my name is Tracy Seawright, and this has been Ready Set Reiki.